Sabi ko nga, mamaya, baka kinonvert into Spanish mo. Ano, di ba?
Alright, everyone, good morning. Nice to see all of you again. Ako si Mr. Cleanup. Kaya nasama niyo ulit sa Las Piñas Paranaque Wetland Park. And I just want to check, nakikiintindihan ba ako sa likod?
Yes.
Here. So, in line with our initiatives for sustainability, first I want to thank Patty for inviting me over. Sidetrack na lang, nakita kami ng CEO sa French Chamber awarding ceremony sa Sustainability Award. So, congrats sa inyo for your award. And I think today's session is very important. Una, kasi marami kayong titikman na tsaa, okay, saka honey. Pangalawa, because these three items can be connected to sustainability. And what's going on today? COP28, I believe your company has a representative in the proceedings today in Dubai, right? And it's a global meeting about ano bang mangyayari sa klima natin, no? And it connects to our program today called Feast from the Forest, right? So, first off, yung ginagawa namin is really for the ITA kids that we work with, si Myra at si Vivian, who work with us in San Felipe, in San Felipe, Zambales. And for those who work in the cleanup, the framework of business today has to change from progress for money to progress na nag-aalaga sa tao at inaalagaan yung lupa at yung tubig, to take care of land and water, right? So here, this is a community negotiating for a dam. And there's a lot of energy projects today, hydro, solar, and companies want the land of indigenous people. And indigenous people, pag intact yung kultura nila, yan ang hihingin nila, alagaan ng lupa at tubig. And so, we're at the center of climate change. We're at the center of the catastrophes happening. Real time siya. And sino na dito ang nabiktima ng flood? Meron? Medyo madami ko na yan. Thank you for sharing, one of my colleagues in the back, si Anjo, he's the one who's been preparing the tea. He lives by the river, the Marikina River. And pag bahat doon, nakakatakot, very stressful. So, yung state of Philippine forests natin, not good, right? In year 1900, we were sold to the US by Spain. Do you remember how much they bought us for in USD? Does anyone know? Magkano ang Pilipinas noong year 1900? $20 million. So $20 million, right? And the reason why they bought us for $20 million is because of resources, lumber, and mining. And that's documented in the USN. And so what's happened is naubos yung lumber natin so that they can mine the country of precious metals. Right? Per square meter, we are the second or first richest country in the world for precious earth minerals. And so, pag wala yung puno, simple lang, umiinit, I think you feel that here in this area, kasi grabe ang init dito sa coast, of Manila Bay, right? You can see here, no trees because it's a lot hotter. At kapag sinusundo kayo, nalihin kayo ng sundo, I'm sure nakabang kayo sa shade, diba? Puno or some sort of shed, diba? Or open aircon, right? Not only that, the trees, yung forests natin, dyan na nagaling yung tubig, kaya rainforest. So, as the forest went down, yung tubig sa ilog bumababa din. Rivers lost 75% of their water. This is Tumaykay River and Luzon River, but it's also happening in rivers in Batangas, it's happening in Pampanga River, it's happening in the Cagayan River. Meron ba dito Tagaang Mindanao? Patatay nyo yan. Pag-iwan kayo sa rivers na to. The amount of water is going down. And what does that mean? It means that farmers will not be able to plant. Anjo, Jess, and I were in Lobo, Batangas recently. And this year, is the first year, na may farmers nagsabi sa agriculture office nila, Sir, hindi kami makatanim ng alay kasi walang tubig. 30 years ago, that was not an issue. Today it is. And so, magkaka-rice shortage in town kasi yung dating supplier ng rice, hindi makapagtanim. What happens? Okay, fresh ng rice, diba? And when it rains, it's really flooded. No? But this picture is no longer just a Philippine-centric picture. It is already happening in the US. They're experiencing one major flood a year, Thailand. They expect to hit 20 major events a year by 2060 or 2050. Bale magiging tayo ng Pilipinas at US if the trend continues to deteriorate. This is what a Category 4 typhoon looks like. Right? Nung bata tayo, siguro hindi pa naging yung Category 4. Nung 3 lang yung malakas. Diba ngayon hanggang 5. Right? Mukha siyang gripo. Right? And yun, extreme heat kills farmers. We're expected to enter an El Nino this 2024. El Nino is worse than flood because it is a silent killer. And if anyone was used to look at the news, there was a time in Mindanao na nagka-El Nino, panahon ni Duterte. So about 2016-2017, may nag-rally na farmers on a highway in Mindanao saying, Mayor, bigyan niyo kami ng suporta na makailangan ng crops namin. Medyo na-miss or na-insulto si Mayor sa pag-rally, ina-disperse niya violently, patay. In the next town, in Davao City, the same thing happened. El Nino crop failure. Rice farmers asking, help us, nag-rally sila support us. Binigyan sila ng pera sa rice, and then umuwi sila. But goes to show, our governments are paying for that, which means we are paying for it. That's our taxes. No? And so, this video is very important. Kasi yung sound system is maganda. Anyway, this video shows, kita mo, on your left side, this is slowly moving. On the right side, hindi yung maayos yung tubig.
Yung white is, ano lang po, filter.
Maraming kailangan may backup. So, yung makikita nila on your left side, diba? Flash flood, landslide, river siltation, lahat yan may gastos sa tao, may gastos sa gobyerno. Whereas on your right side, tingnan nyo, yung tubig lumalabas sa ilalim, lumalabas siya ng mabagal, malinis yung labas niyan. Yan yung ilog na kung saan kayo swimming, yan yung waterfalls kung saan kayo swimming. No? So that is something that you really need to pay attention to. Nice pa. What we showed you now are things that hindi pa siya tinuturo in school. No? Visually, at least, hindi siya nakakita. Guys, pwede ito. Hindi ko magana yung here's the price of rice, 56, right? And then the temperature, as I mentioned, also goes up. In Florida, yung temperature ng tubig nila, 37 degrees Celsius. And makinig yun, that's our body temp. And in Kasiguran, Aurora, pumapalog ng 60 degrees Celsius yung init. August this year, no? So first time na may 60 degrees tayo. And we're showing this to you kasi pag may forest ka, mababawasan yung init. Mas marami yung tubig, mas sa cooling effect. Okay? Now, connecting to COP28, no? Kasi people are talking about carbon in Dubai now. Right? Your boss is there. Ang question ko, how much carbon does the average Filipino produce per year? Is it 1 ton per year, 20 tons per year, 40 tons per year? Tama, 1 ton. Ang 20 tons is anong bansa?
Indonesia.
China. Mababa ko China. China sa mga 15. 20 CUS, 40 yung mga Middle Eastern countries. Kasi sa Middle East, yung tubig nila, kailangan nila ng energy to process water. Kaya sobrang mahal. At sobrang mataas yung cost of carbon nila. Now, the reason why we're showing this is because si Philippines, technically, kung ang may sala sa breakdown ng planet natin ay yung carbon na nakakainit sa mundo, konti lang yung contribution natin. 1 versus 20 and 40. Diba? And that's why there are storylines today saying yung mga developed countries dapat tulungan nyo yung mga bansa na biktima ng carbon emission nyo. Kasi nga naman, 200 million Americans and 20 tons. Bakit yan versus 100 million Filipinos, 1. Diba? Ang layo ng disparity. And so, what we are sharing with you is a framework on sustainability that includes, that should include economy, should include your community, should include environment, that should also include your personal well-being. Because if we want to change the carbon stories, these 4 elements are needed so that magawa ko siya smoothly. Kung pag may kulang dyan, mahirap yung change. And nobody likes to change easily, no? To make it very real, this is the site that we work with in San Felipe, Zambales. Kita nyo, tuyong-tuyo siya. Every year it burns, right? We set out a couple of years ago to reforest their ancestral domain, Sunupang Minuno. It's roughly 4,000 hectares, right, of land. And what we did was we started a tour program there. Kasi inisip namin, kailangan ng tayo ng pulo. So, ito yung mga nangyayari doon. So, you can trek, pagpagod na, you can use a Carabao. Tapos, may cultural immersion, they teach you about archery, right? There's herbal medicine, no? Mga tsaan nila, which we get to try later. And then we also train the communities to compete with restaurants in terms of food. Pero ang fresco dining sila, kasi for outdoor. No? Dancing and then planting. And we planted a lot of trees in the area. Now, one thing that we want to share with you is a very important lesson that the community shared. So, ito si Chieftain Edison, siya yung chieftain na ilabutan namin noon. And on our first program, kasi nga mahirap sila, day 4 yung highest level of education nila. Walang kuryente, walang tubig. So, in one day, dahil sa tourism, yung kikitain ng isang pamilya sa isang buwan, kaya na sa isang araw. Ganun kalakas yung tourism. Kaya yung Baguio, laki ng pera doon. Kasi tourism is powerful. That's why we have a farm tourism law. Because tourism is big money. And, you know, to earn 1 month, 4 piece in 1 day work is big thing. Pero si Chieftain, madali no. Minsan tinanggap niya yung pera, sabi na, ayaw ko ng pera. Tapos kami, naguluhan kami. Chieftain, ba't ayaw tanggapin yung pera? Easy money ito kung pero sa ginagawa niyo. Tapos, ang sagot niya, kasi pag binigyan mo kami ng pera, baka magastos namin sa load, sa 3 na kape, sa sigarilyo. Hindi naman yan papakinabangan ng matagal. So in English, it's not sustainable. Kasi gastos ka agad eh. So, ang response namin, si Chieftain, ano gusto niyo? Kasi ang dami namin nilang bisita. Kaya yung bisita, kumain lahat, nakakaala kayo lahat. What do you want? And he said, if you're serious, kung seryoso ka, tignan tulo pa ininom namin, napakalaki, pero nakatiwag lang. Kung tutulong ka, dalhan mo kami ng mga buto at bini. Kasi yun, itatanim lang namin. At kahit nakawin yun, yung magnanakaw, itatanim pa rin niya yung mga kinuha. And so, that's what we try to do. So we try to plant two things, right? Planting for the forest, and then planting for the economy. Kasi nga, yun yung challenge natin, di ba? Challenge lahat. Bad climate at economy. So this is our first kita yung before and after the mga lakit. No? So si Andrew today is the one who manages that. Siya yung market on the book to check it out. Almost that. But we also need to make sure na while okay yung environment nila, kumikita sila. Kasi for the longest time, yung mundo natin, para kumita, para yumaman, mining, lumber, these are extractive industries. The question is, how do I make money without destroying the planet? No? So these are the industries that came up. No? Yan naman si Germs na the future. Face-to-face, so virtual inspection ng mga halaman. Ito yung ang daming pagkain na lumabas sa planting. No? And some of these items are in front of you today. The honey is here. Yung tsaa na sa kanila gamot. Pero sa atin kasi yung tsaa is pleasurable, diba? Hindi siya eh. Hindi lang siya ginagawa. So, we brought some. And then coffee, not in this community, but in other community partners of that, they're growing coffee, which is a crop that DENR and DA have both said that is compatible with deforestation. Kasi yung kape, kailangan niya ng shade. Hindi siya pwedeng 24 hours of sunlight, full day sunlight. Kung hindi, nahirapan siyang lumaki. Kailangan sumisilaw siya. So if you try Kalinga coffee, lahat ng kape doon nakasilaw either sa Nara o Akasha. Yun yung and communities, the message here also is that communities are part of the climate change story. They're also part of food security. They're also part of a high quality of life. Kasi kung marami silang tanim na ganyan, hindi mo na lahat. Kasi tayo lahat, diba? Right now, Philippine coffee is very expensive. Vietnamese coffee is cheaper and it actually tastes better, unfortunately. No? Yung standard nila mataas, diba? So, our strong environment is also a strong economy. But it also enables amazing gastronomy. So, what grows in the forest? So, ipapaliwanag ko yung mga titikman nyo. Right? So, itong tatlo, right? Often associated with coffee shops. Yeah? So you might find all of these in the Starbucks Monday, no? So there are 4 kinds of coffee, right? There is Arabica, yan yung medyo maasim. And then there is Robusta, right? That one is earthy bitter. Yan yung Nescafe na iniinom nyo for sure. And then there is Liberica, yan yung Barako. No? And then there is Excelsa, which is also a lowland coffee na mapapait siya. No? So Arabica is highland, 2,000 meters above sea level. Robusta is midland, 500 to 1,000 meters. Yung Liberica at Excelsa, pang lowland sa mainit. Kaya nga sa Batangas yung Barako, yung Liberica. Kasi okay siya sa mainit. No? At ang kita nyo, yung pinaka-rare na kape sa mundo, yung Liberica at Excelsa, yung mga Barako. Okay? Sa atin, common, sa Luzon, pero pag dinala may Barako sa Mindanao, lahat ng tao, minsan ang makikita na. Kasi sa kanila, ang madami, Robusta Arabica. Okay? And if you have gone to Starbucks, Coffee Bean, or any coffee shop, McDo, Jollibee, malamang Arabica Robusta yung natikman nyo. Okay? Ay, tapos in terms of ano pala, in terms of ano yung pinakamatapang, Liberica yung pinakamatapang. Robusta sa gitna, tapos Arabica yung pinakamatapang. 5 times, up to 5 times more caffeine yung Barako versus Arabica coffee. So, pag nakakapi kayo sa gabi, keep that in mind. The kind of coffee affects that. So, here, Arabica, no? Rice, caffeine content, and content. And then, Robusta, no? Caffeine content is higher. Right? Rice also low. And then, Liberica, tignan nyo, global profile ng Liberica, mahal siya. Pero sa akin, mura. So, you have to consider yourself lucky that you have access to Barako. Kasi nahirap na natin sa mundo. Tapos siya yung mga. Right? Here is the production. Right? You still have to see what it's like. Right? And this is a sample of an agroforest site. No? So, yung mga kape, these are the coffee trees. No, kasi ito yung mga forest trees. Nakikisi lang sila, shaded, right? So that's the part of it. So, next product is honey. Coffee trees have flowers. And so, if the flowers, if you have enough biodiversity there, makaka-honey bees sila. Similar to what we showed earlier. The bees will start going to whatever flowers in the area, right? And yung pinakamahal na honey sa mundo yung Manuka honey. Kasi grabe ang mahal. $100 a bottle. And it's a key story. The bees are the pollinators of our plants and vegetables. No? So there are several varieties of bees, and each bee has a different kind of honey. Yung maliliit natin na stingless, very sweet, watery yung honey niya. Yung malalaki, malapot yung honey niya. Right? Iba-iba. So yung mga test na sinasabi sa inyo, pag yung honey parang matubig, pwede yan, not necessarily true. Tapos yung honey na malaki, yung sobrang thick, totoo yun, not necessarily true. Kasi yung thick honey minsan, pinahiyuan ng high fructose corn syrup or sugar. So pag inamoy ba, pwede yan. So it's really hard to find organic honey in the Philippines kasi nga, laging pinagkarahan. No? Tapos konti na rin kasi yung forest area where it comes from. But it does have a lot of benefits. Specifically, kung magkakasakit ka na, mag-spoonful ka lang ng honey, it will help reduce the sickness. No? It's also antiseptic, meaning pag may sulat ka, tanggal yung bacteria. And then last, when historians first entered the pyramids in Egypt, they found only one thing that was edible, honey. Kasi wala siyang expiry date. Of all natural foods in the world, honey is the one. I think salt is the one. Anyway, I'll give you these slides so you don't have to take care of it. Now, the last one that you'll try is tea, right? Hindi masyadong sikat pa yung kultura ng sa Pilipinas. Mas sikat siya sa China, or sa UK, or sa India. No? But we started Manaba because it is the one that is accredited by AGH as good for your body, diabetes management. Tsaka yung kidney stone should have UTI. The next is a common plant, but I bet you haven't tried it yet. It's bamboo, kawayan. Ang maganda sa kawayan, apart from masarap siya, it has an nutrient called silica, which is good for nails, bones, and hair. So it's a good growth encourages. So yung mga, nag-present ka na sa mga grade 2, nag-uli yung mga bata ng nalaman para sa lolo nila, para sa fashion nila. So masarap po. You get to try that later. It's over here.
Any kind of bamboo ba yan? Kasi maraming klase ng bamboo eh. It has native bamboo and then yung culture na parang talaga. So, anong klaseng bamboo yan?
Okay. So, the bamboo, what bamboo you can use for
Farmer kasi tatay ko.
So, lahat ng variety pwede.
Pwede.
So far, lahat ng variety pwede. Lahat ng hindi pwede. Pero kung sa farm sa Pilipinas, malamang bayog yan or
Kasi taga-Asia, kayo kumandarin dito, pwede pa na yun eh.
Alam nga, sa ibang bansa sa Asia, pagdating mo, nagkakabili mo bamboo leaf tea. And then yung mangga. So, guys, yung mangga, di ba kapag constipated ka, papakain ka ng mangga, tapos lalabas. Pag nasobrahan, pwede yan. So, the mango leaf has the opposite effect of the fruit. Kasi meron din siyang support for your hair. Masarap din siya. Right? So it's supposed to help restore your digestive unit. Yeah. And then there's also, this one is avocado. Right? Yung avocado medyo mapait siya ng konti compared to the others. So you may need to take the sugar and everything. But it does have a lot of benefits. No? There are a lot of kinds of tea, right? But we don't have enough time for this because I'm going to be long. So guys, let me close na lang, no? Kasi I want to bring it back to the bigger picture before we try all the food. And we call Andrew to facilitate, no? There's a lot going on now that will affect us and affect the children in our families moving forward. No? Ito po yung nangyayari ngayon. This is how important what we're talking about is. First world countries, the developed countries are giving money, putting money, billions of dollars to plant forests, to reduce waste, to reduce carbon. People want to regenerate soil. And then, kung binabagay tayo, dapat nakakatanggap din tayo. Kasi pasulat na natin sa Pilipinas na damage sa bansa natin. That is the premise. That's why I showed you earlier. Tayo 1 ton per person. Sila 20 tons per person. And this video, the last video I'll show you, will give you a good idea of what the world will look like if we don't make changes. It goes all the way up to 2060. it's a video that I wanted to show you kasi gusto ko makita nyo sa chat ito na. Ang hirap kasi i-kwento yun eh, ang urban. And I think it's an important video to see because your company will need your help in terms of building this kind of thing. Kasi it's not just what can your company do, it's what can we do as individual people there. May mga changes talaga tayo doon. Today, the world produces 59 billion gigatons of carbon. Yun yung buong human race. No? There are plans to fix it. No? And this is what it looks like in the chart. Ano yung major contributors to that? Transportation, right? Decarbonization of using energy natin has to change. Food, protecting nature, so planting. Cleanup industry, plastic, right? Removing carbon, meaning we just have to make sure our forests and mangroves stop contributing carbon. At dito tayo sa day of focus. Itong tatlong to, definitely within our control, right? And your food choices, specifically, if you're eating nature positive or forest positive products, will help. If you're getting local products, lower your carbon footprint. These are things that you can do. Kailangan talaga natin gawin. Right? Not just us, but around the world. Right? So, ayun, to close, your food choices can help, right? Help this country, help our world, and help the future of the next generation. Okay? So with that, I'd like to ask Angel and Jess and Jerms to help me so that we can form lines as we can start trying the different items. No? So tea, coffee, and so again guys, maraming salamat. I hope you learned something from the sharing today. Sinong gusto mo una? Hinap na lang. Just bring your cup. I want to try it.
Ako na lang. Baka may kaso na ako mauna sa inyo. Punta na akong brokerage eh. Honey,